Hi everybody, Dr. Eeles here with the first of hopefully a series of videos exploring STEM together and looking at some different activities that we can be doing from home. Today I just wanted to show you a kit that I picked up from Woolworths. It was only $10 and I thought this would be a good opportunity to do an activity for my STEM journal and show you what that looks like, but also hopefully give you an idea of what's in this kit, and it might be something that you're able to use at home yourself. So here we have what we call they've called the Zoomers kit, and this is a little STEM activity box that has a booklet and a whole bunch of materials and activities for you to try. So let's have a look at what's in the box here. So when we open it up, we've got ourselves an instruction book here, which I might just take that out. And we've got all our different parts inside the box. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got a step-by-step instruction book for making some different working machines. And our contents here, we've got a balloon-powered car, we've got a crash test car, water-powered boats, helicopters, quite a few interesting looking projects. So what we might start with today is having a look at a balloon-powered car. Also really important to note that they do include safety in here, which we know it's really important to be safe in the lab and when we're doing experiments, even if we're doing them at home. Here you just want to be thinking about things like how you're going to cut and what tools you're going to use to do that safely. If you end up doing a rocket project or something similar, you might want to think about, are you safe with the baking soda or vinegar or things like that? Check your chemicals. If you're using a hot glue gun, you have to be careful not to get burnt, and just to be really safe. Okay, so what you can see inside this box is we've got some paddle pop sticks, we've got a propeller, we've got some straws, a balloon, some little metal axles and some wheels, which would be good for doing a car. And you can see there's also this cutout sheet which has some different templates and things, so to help us do some designs and help us to cut some stuff out for a rocket, and looks like a helicopter as well. Okay, so these are the materials that you'll need. I'm going to use a slightly different method to what's in the booklet for this, just because I've done this a few times, and I'll show you some tricks that are more helpful. But feel free to follow this book if you do end up picking up this kit, or watch this video to find out what we're going to do next. So what we've got is we have a balloon, we've got our axles here, but you could use skewers or something similar to make this. Some wheels, again I've got plastic wheels out of this kit, but you might use bottle cap lids, or you might use CDs if you want really big wheels, whatever you've got around the house that you can try. We've also got some straws, and we've got some bendy straws in here, which are going to be really important later on when we try to propel this vehicle. And we've also got a bottle for the body, and this is usually the easiest way to go about this. But again, if you have cardboard or something similar, you can make a body out of whatever you've got at home. Okay, so the first step is to think about how we're going to attach these wheels to the body of my car. There's a couple of ways that you can go about this. Often they recommend poking holes in the bottle and pushing the axle all the way through. Now, this can be a little difficult, particularly with plastic. Sometimes you need to heat a bit of metal to actually make a hole, and frankly I found this to be more trouble than it's worth. Now the trick to doing this, which some of my students may have done with our Sphero chariots, is it's really easy to make a sleeve for an axle using a straw. And essentially what you want to do is get a straw and just check the length of your axle with a wheel attached, and think about how long is this going to be. Obviously this straw is way too long right now, so I'm going to lay this straw against the axle and just get an idea. You want to make sure you've just got a little bit of a gap either side so that your wheel can still turn, but you don't want your sleeve so short that it's going to move back and forth, okay? So try to keep it lined up as best as possible, but here really you can estimate, and we can always cut it or change it again later if we need to. So we cut that to length, put that sleeve over, and put the other wheel on like so. And so now we can see that our wheel and our axle can turn freely within that straw. And so to attach it to my car, it really is as simple as using some tape and connecting it. So I'm just going to add the other two wheels as well, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so as you can see, I've attached my axles and my wheels to my bottle, just using a bit of tape with that straw. You might find that your axles don't sit very straight because we have this very straight axle but this very narrow body on the bottle. But just move things around, use some more tape if you need to. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as all four wheels are sitting on the ground, it should move back and forth like so. Now we need to think about how we're going to make this bottle move, and for that we're going to use air power with our trusty balloon. Okay, so to propel our car we're going to use air with our balloon, and to do this we need one balloon and a bendy straw like so. And you're going to attach the balloon to the end of the straw that's opposite to where the bend part is, and we're going to use a whole lot of tape to secure this properly and make sure that no air can leak out of the end here. So if you want to see if this has worked, you really need to try and blow into the other end of the straw and see if you can inflate your balloon. So I'm just going to try this out now. And I can see that it's not really inflating, and I actually feel the air coming out from the end of the tape here. So that means I need to tape it up a bit harder to have no leaks. The other thing you want to be really careful of is if you tape too much up the top here, you can restrict the flow of air to the balloon and back out again. So again, just really check your tape, try and blow it up a few times, and hopefully you get to a point where your balloon will start inflating. And when I let it go, I can feel the air coming out of the straw end. So this should be working fine. Okay, so the next step is to get my balloon and my straw into the car. And what we want to have is the straw come out through the end of the bottle here, so that it will hopefully push air backwards. So you have to be really careful when you're trying to poke holes in these bottles, and get someone to help you if you need. But essentially you just want to use an open pair of scissors to poke a hole through and twist it so that you have a hole that is big enough for the straw to get through. Hopefully you can just see that here. And so then we're going to insert our straw and make sure you pre-bent it. That'll help. And move it all the way through so it's outside the car like this, okay? And so hopefully this is my finished assembly. What I'll do is I'll just tape the straw to the hole here to make sure that it stays in place, and we'll test it and see if it's going to drive. So something that I noticed really early on with this is that the normal sticky tape doesn't give me a good seal with my balloon, and it doesn't let me blow it up properly, and it leaks everywhere. So what I've done is switch to masking tape, and that's helped me a lot with attaching this. So a few things to watch out for is make sure you really tape where the straw and the balloon are connected, or when you've inserted the straw, just tape around where the straw part is in the balloon. If you tape too far up, you're going to seal off the balloon and it won't be able to let the air out. So this seems to be working now. Let me show you a test drive. Okay, so as you've seen, it's not necessarily the fastest balloon car around, but it works. It's rolling, it's moving along. And that's really what this is all about, is trying to get something to work first, and then you might redesign and play with it later. So a few things I might change on this is maybe I try to use bigger wheels and see if that has any effect. Or I might try to use a bigger straw, which should hopefully give us a faster thrust, although the car might not drive for as long. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. See if you can have a go at making a balloon car yourself and let me know how it goes, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.